Good evening, everybody. Myself, Sunil Kumar Singh from National Institute of Oceanography, Goa, is going to present the recent result of trace element in the Indian Ocean obtained under Geotraces India program. Now, the question is why we have done a study in the Indian Ocean. Indian Ocean is very unique basin. Unlike Atlantic and Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean has low latitude land boundary which impacts the ocean circulation in this particular ocean. In addition to that, it receives, particularly the Bay of Bengal receives large amount of freshwater and sediment from the Ganga, Brahmaputra and Raudi river, which is impacting the biogeochemistry of the Indian Ocean. Also, the Arabian Sea receives lots of dust from the nearby arid land masses, which is impacting the chemistry of this river, part of the ocean. In addition, Indian Ocean is impacted by the two monsoon, the seasonal reversal of wind. One is southwest monsoon and another is northeast monsoon. So during southwest monsoon, Arabian Sea water goes to the Bay of Bengal, and during northeast monsoon, Bay of Bengal water comes to the Arabian Sea, and this is also transport huge amount of water and sediment from one basin to another, which impacts the ocean biogeochemistry. Indian Ocean is crisscrossed by several mid-oceanic ridges like Carlsberg Ridge, Central Indian Ridge, Southwest Indian Ridge, and Southeast Indian Ridge. This mid-oceanic ridges, lot of material is coming to the water column, and hence it is impacting the biogeochemistry. Indian Ocean receives deep water coming from the Atlantic and Antarctic and moving towards north, and it receives surface water from the Pacific through Indonesian through flow. This water goes to the Atlantic via Agulhas, and this water circulation also impacts the biogeochemistry. In addition, both Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea are having intermediate oxygen minimum zone, perennial in nature, which is because of fresh water supply in the Bay of Bengal and upwelling in the Arabian Sea. This presence of oxygen minimum zone again impact the biogeochemistry. So we have started the Geotraces India program in 2012, which was funded by Ministry of Earth Sciences. 7 institutions of India participated in this program, and we installed clean sampling system in one of the MOES ships, that is Sagar Kanya, and later on we have also operated this from Sindhu Sadhana. The first cruise was launched in 2013 to sample open Indian Ocean. We collected samples from open ocean, coastal ocean, estuaries, aerosol samples were also sampled to know about the sources, sinks, and internal cycling of trace metals. Till now, we have measured several trace elements, mostly in the dissolved phase. We have measured iron, manganese, zinc, aluminum, cadmium, cobalt, nickel, copper, lead, uranium, thorium, rare earth elements, and also we have measured isotopes of neodymium, hafnium, molybdenum, silicon, thorium to understand the biogeochemical and oceanographic processes. We have sampled till now 8 sections, which covers Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea, subtropical Indian Ocean, and southern sector of the Indian Ocean. We have sampled up to 30 degrees south, and you can see the sampling is quite intense in Indian Ocean, and in these waters has been measured for all the parameters which I have told you earlier. So for that we have established the measurement technique like flow injection system, which was used in the beginning to measure iron, zinc, manganese, and aluminum on board, and later on, and now we are measuring all the trace metals using HRICPMS coupled with CFAST. In addition to establishing the system, before moving to the detailed measurement of all the samples. We have measured a lot of samples from crossover station, which was earlier sampled by Japanese and Clever program. So we have collected those samples and measured these elements and shown that our measurement techniques and sampling techniques are working all right. Coming in the oxygen minimum zone, so iron is getting remineralized in oxygen minimum zone, and particularly in the Arabian Sea, they are coinciding with the nitrite maxima. So it shows that denitrification is causing the iron release in oxygen minimum zone. Also, you can see iron is getting supplied from the different hydrothermal ridges. So this is the iron which is coming from the Carlsberg ridge. So this can come up to 300 400 water depth. And then we have also iron which is getting supplied from the Central Indian ridge. Iron is also coming from the Kerry and Edmund Bend, which has been showing huge peak. And in addition to that, Indian Ocean, in Indian Ocean, we are getting huge amount of iron from the subduction zone. So Indian plate is getting subducted with the Burmese plate, and in that Sumatra region, we are getting a lot of iron which is coming from the recycled water, which is going down and coming back in this area. So if you see the iron distribution in the Photic zone of Arabian Sea, the Photic zone integrated iron, dissolved iron, is almost double in Arabian Sea compared to the subtropical Indian Ocean. You can see here. It shows a very significant positive correlation with Photic zone integrated primary production. This suggests higher availability of iron is responsible for high primary production in the Arabian Sea compared to the subtropical Indian Ocean. Further, we estimated the iron budget coming from lateral and vertical advection and diffusion, and also the iron which is coming from atmospheric dust deposition. So here we see that iron coming from lateral and vertical advections are very much important, and they are much higher compared to the atmospheric iron supply. And both biotic and abiotic processes are comparable in particularly in the Arabian Sea, and they are removing significant amount of iron in this region. And based on these estimates, the residual time of iron is estimated to be about 0.1 to 1 year in the Photic waters of the Arabian Sea, much lower than the earlier estimates. And if you see the iron limitation, particularly coming to the zinc, zinc shows nutrient type of behavior in Indian Ocean. And zinc is having very special feature in the Indian Ocean. So if you plot all the zinc which we have measured in subtropical Indian Ocean with silica, so zinc by silica ratio in the subtropical Indian Ocean is about 0.062, which is very much similar to the global ocean. But same thing if you plot in the Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal, the slope is much lower. It is coming about 0.045 and 0.049. And if you plot this thing in the oxygen minimum zone, it is going much lower again, and it is almost about 0.03. So it is being seen that zinc concentration in the oxygen minimum zone area, particularly in the northern Indian Ocean, compared to the silica, zinc is significantly lower, and which could be happening because of the zinc loss in the oxygen minimum zone. So in oxygen minimum zone, zinc is getting lost due to the sulfide formation, zinc sulfide formation. So this is one of the mechanism. Also, it could be possible because in oxygen minimum zone, prokaryotes are more, and because of more prokaryotes, since the prokaryotes requires less zinc, so such type of productivity where prokaryotes are more, they can regenerate lower zinc in the intermediate water column, so which could be responsible for the lower zinc in the Indian Ocean. We have also measured aluminum in the Indian Ocean, and here you can see in both Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal, significant of aluminum is being supplied by the continental shelf area. So the sediment which is being supplied from the Ganga Brahmaputra. They are acting as a source of zinc, uh, no, in aluminum, sorry, the source of aluminum in the Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea. Also, the lot of aluminum is being supplied from the atmospheric dust sources. In addition, some of the ridge system, particularly the hydrothermal ridge area, this silicate material is getting interacted with the water, and they are supplying a lot of aluminum. And the dust deposition is showing a seasonal variation, and that is getting reflected in the aluminum concentration of the surface water in the Arabian Sea. We have also measured manganese. So you can see here, this is the manganese profile. So manganese shows like iron, it is also getting regenerated in the oxygen minimum zone. In addition to oxygen minimum zone, it is also getting some manganese from the continental shelf area, which is also reflected both in Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal. Bay of Bengal, both in the northern Bay of Bengal and in the Andaman area, this manganese concentration is significantly higher, and this manganese is getting supplied from the sediments interaction, and particularly the pore water. Manganese is getting supplied due to the reduction of this manganese, and they are getting dissolved when coming to the water column. And as I have suggested, the oxygen minimum zone is also responsible for the manganese significantly increasing. So lead concentration is significantly high, so it can come from the riverine sources or entrepreneurial sources, and also the surface is very high, so it can come from atmospheric deposition. And this concentration is significantly higher in the Indian Ocean compared to the Atlantic and Pacific. So still, I think lead is getting supplied. Anthropogenic lead is coming, even though the lead, gasoline lead is not there, but I think the coal burning is supplying significant amount of lead in this area. Copper is also measured. So copper typically you can see the concentration is going up to 6 to 7 nanomolar. So it is increasing with depth, and in both Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea, some of the coastal area copper is quite high. So this copper could be coming from self-supply. So anthropogenic copper could be imported in this area. Cadmium is also measured. Cadmium surface is low and increasing with depth, both Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal. And in addition to that, we have measured neodymium as a water mass tracer in Indian Ocean. So we have measured Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea, and also Eastern Indian Ocean. You can see here the Bay of Bengal, a lot of neodymium is being supplied with the sediment coming from the Ganga Brahmaputra, whereas in Arabian Sea surface ocean is getting a lot of neodymium from the dust supply, and Eastern Indian Ocean, Indonesian through flow is supplying a lot of radiogenic neodymium. In addition to that, we have also measured RE in these waters. So they all are showing, if you see the past normalized concentration, so all of them are having cerium anomaly with increasing high rare earth elements. Thank you very much. At this point, all these measurements has been measured by many of our students. So Beneath, Satinder Venkatesh, Damu Sneha, Naman, Nirmalya Chaya, and Tapas has contributed significantly to this measurement. Thank you very much.